Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor. From the Great North Woods to the Rockland Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, an Eddington man is back behind bars after being accused of making online threats. Plus, Republican lawmakers are speaking out about concerns over the newly passed state budget and a report that indicates that home sales are booming here in the state of Maine. Good morning, everyone. I'm Craig Colson. We'll hear from Emma Smith in just a few moments. She's busy out posting a story online, some breaking news this morning. If you were joining us on Fox 22 over the last hour, you saw that Secretary of State Shenna Bellows just announced that she plans to run as a Democratic candidate for governor coming up during the 2026 election. We'll hear more from the town of Hancock coming up, where Shenna Bellows made that big announcement just a short while ago. But before we do anything else, we're going to turn things over to Devin Biggs for a look at that weather forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Low temperatures so far this morning haven't been too bad. Made to the mid-20s so far in Bangor, upper 20s in Bar Harbor. Other spots in the upper 20s to even some lower 30s. Some areas of dense fog greeting us this morning from Bangor to further off towards the north and east. Even parts of Washington County seeing some reduced visibility at this time. Otherwise, most of us not looking too bad, at least just yet. We had a little bit of precipitation passing through last night, at least on the radar. It looks like a little bit of a wintry mix, but otherwise we're dry to start this morning, but we will be watching for a little bit more precipitation on the way with this system that's off to the south and west and is tracking to the north and east. And that will give us an opportunity for a few more scattered rain and snow showers on the way for us today. Later on tonight, a little bit more snow will be passing through, and some of that may linger in the parts of Thursday morning. So for today, mid-40s, scattered rain and snow showers, southwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, low 30s, mostly cloudy, some snow showers to watch out for, and that west wind at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid-40s, partly cloudy, some sprinkles and flurries, northwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some higher gusts cannot be ruled out. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing increasing clouds, scattered rain and snow showers possible with temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll see you later on. An Eddington man already well known to police was arrested Tuesday and charged with making online threats. Thaddeus Wind is now behind bars after authorities apprehended him on Tuesday. In 2024, the FBI received information from Meta about a Facebook user who had discussed committing violence against police and the military. The FBI also received online tips from members of the public about threatening statements made on X. In November of 2024, the FBI executed a search warrant related to that X account, and that's when they say they recovered posts containing threats to Jews, political figures, the Supreme Court, and others. According to the Department of Justice, details of the account were traced back to Thaddeus Wind. He is well known to law enforcement as he was involved in multiple standoffs with police in recent years. Meanwhile, a man from Albion has been sentenced for having sexual contact with a child and then saving explicit photos of the victim on his cell phone. A sentence the family says equates to a slap on the wrist. 44-year-old Sean Iori has been ordered to serve 75 days behind bars. He was found guilty in January but was acquitted of charges, including gross sexual assault and sexual abuse of a minor. According to the Morning Sentinel, the victim was 14 or 15 years old when the alleged crimes happened. Her parents both testified at the hearing, saying the teenager was failed and abused by the state's criminal justice system. Well, as we said at the top of the show, the next gubernatorial election in Maine won't take place until November of 2026, but a high-profile candidate has just announced that she'll be joining that race. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows announced this morning she'll be running as a Democratic candidate. She made the announcement just a short while ago during a visit to the Hancock Community Center. Bellows grew up in Hancock County and later served as the executive director of the ACLU. She also served as a state senator before becoming the very first woman to serve as Secretary of State in 2021. Coming up in maybe about 25 minutes or so, we will have another live interview with Bellows about her choice to run as a gubernatorial candidate and what she hopes to get done here in the state of Maine. We also hope to hear from other candidates as that election cycle proceeds over the months ahead. Moving on now, during a meeting yesterday of the Select Committee on Intelligence, Senator Angus King grilled Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard about the contents of a text stream allegedly leaked by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that revealed detailed plans from the military strikes in Yemen about them. The sensitive information was sent to a group chat that included journalists. King argued that the information leaked included targets, weapons to be used, attack sequences, and even the timing, while Gabbard has testified that none of the information leaked was classified. King, though...
So the attack sequencing and timing and weapons and targets you don't consider should have been classified?
I defer to the Secretary of Defense, the National Security Council on that question.
Well, you're the head of you're the head of the intelligence community. You're supposed to know about classifications. So your testimony very clearly today is that nothing was in that set of texts that were classified. I'll follow up on Senator Wyden's question. If that's the case, please release that whole text stream so that the public can have a view of what actually transpired on this discussion. It's hard for me to believe that targets and timing and weapons would not have been classified. Well, let me move on.
And we'll have more on that still developing situation a little later on in the broadcast, including reactions from both Democrats and Republicans. Well, meanwhile, Maine Republican lawmakers are voicing serious concerns over the recent budget passed by the legislature, but Democrats say it needed to pass to move forward to free up some crucial funding. Our Grace Blanchard has that story.
Last Thursday, the legislature passed a more than $11 billion budget without a single vote from Republicans in the state Senate or the House.
A blind man could see that this budget is not balanced, therefore it is dishonest.
Republican lawmakers are not shying away from expressing their discontent with the continuing services budget, describing it as reckless, unbalanced, and dishonest.
Truly a backdoor, behind closed doors, secret budget that was drafted out of the public eye, which I think is disgraceful.
According to the Senate president, an unbalanced budget is not allowed under Maine's constitution, and there is a fund positive balance of nearly $130 million. She says the vote came down to ensuring that essential services like Maine Care remain funded amid continued policy discussions.
The reason we really needed to rush this through was to at least get the clock started on those Maine Care payments. 90 days is still too long to wait, and I still am hopeful that our colleagues will find a way to come together that we can get this emergency funding passed, but I wasn't willing to play chicken anymore.
This is the first of two budget measures. Republican leaders say Mainers should expect to see more tax increases in Part 2.
And there's over 12 tax increases in the governor's proposal that I think you're going to see rolled in here. And there's not a single vote up here to vote to raise taxes.
President Daughtry says the reason for a two-part budget is to adjust based on changes from the federal government and to ensure they are monitoring their revenue forecast.
I want these ideas to have a robust conversation in appropriations in our policy committees. We need to hear from Mainers what they want to see.
In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, according to volunteers with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, 1 in 5 deaths in Maine are caused by cancer. As part of their annual Cancer Action Day, volunteers convened at the State House Tuesday to support proposals that aim to address the needs of patients all across the cancer spectrum. Advocates and cancer survivors are urging support of a proposal to improve access to biomarker testing. They say the testing is a way to look for genes, proteins, and other substances that can help provide critical information for cancer treatment, as well as early detection and diagnosis. Representative Sam Zager of Portland says LD 107 would require coverage for biomarker testing regardless of people's insurance providers.
Knowing what exact disease is affecting somebody, not only what organs affect, but what is the actual disease, what is the pathway that is not working right, knowing that answer really helps get the right treatment to the right person.
I interact with cancer patients every single day. I see what happens when they get the right treatment versus the wrong treatment. I see the devastation that insurance barriers can bring and the stress that brings on top of an already horrible and stressful situation.
Volunteers with the American Cancer Society are also pushing lawmakers to support a cigarette tax increase of $1 per pack. They hope raising costs will deter Mainers from smoking or help them quit. To learn more, you can visit this story on our website, foxbangor.com. Major changes are coming to traffic patterns in Newport. DOT has announced construction is set to begin in just a couple of weeks on a new roundabout. The roundabout will be located at the intersections of Route 2 and 7 in Newport with the goal of improving safety and traffic flow in the area. The move will involve full closure of Route 2 and Route 7 in Newport, and a detour will be in effect starting Monday, April 14th. So mark your calendars, especially if you drive through that area, and plan for a little extra drive time. The project is expected to be completed by late 2026. Leonard's Mills in Bradley may soon get national recognition. Congressman Jared Golden recently reintroduced the bill in Washington, urging lawmakers to designate Maine's Forest and Logging Museum at Leonard's Mills as the National Museum of Forestry and Logging History. The Bradley Museum was incorporated back in 1960. It was originally created as a place to preserve forest industry artifacts and documents. However, over time it evolved into a living history site with working machinery and a community of volunteer reenactors. Golden said the museum deserves this national designation for the role it has played and will continue to play in connecting the past, present, and future of forestry and logging here in our country. Very neat. All right, the time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, an amazing learning opportunity for students visiting Maine Maritime Academy that will help them become great leaders in the future. We'll take you there coming up. But first, another check of that weather forecast. A cloudy day ahead today with a chance of scattered rain and snow showers. The highs will be around 45 degrees. Mostly cloudy with snow showers overnight, with lows dropping down to around 30. Tomorrow, we can expect sprinkles and flurries with a high near 44. We'll be right back.
Is your driveway in distress? Dirt yard dragging you down? Call Paramount Paving, Penobscot County's most trusted name in driveways. With more than 1,000 jobs installed and a 4.5 rating on Google, it's easy to see why. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount. Call today for your free estimate.
AMHG Works LLC, American-made home goods, located at the Rennie's Plaza in Bangor. Come check us out. We're open 7 days a week, featuring artisans, crafters, and manufacturers from across the United States, where everything is meticulously designed with care and pride. We also have a wide selection of pet accessories and treats. Let us be your new favorite store. We look forward to seeing you.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view. And start your Sundays with a meal to remember at our all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch. Every Sunday morning from 9 to 11:30 with award-winning dishes and discounts for seniors and veterans. Call to make your reservation. Whether it's a family gathering or a special celebration, our Sunday brunch is the perfect way to savor the weekend. Only at the Lucerne Inn. Beautiful dining with a delicious view.
Is your driveway in distress? Dirt yard dragging you down? Call Paramount Paving, Penobscot County's most trusted name in driveways. With more than 1,000 jobs installed and a 4.5 rating on Google, it's easy to see why. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount. Call today for your free estimate.
Here's the tale of the farmer man, searching for love all across the land. He's a farmer man. Someone to share his life, find a woman to be his loving wife. He's a farmer man.
Them girls are trying to touch Matt's avocados. Didn't like it.
Farmer Wants a Wife. All new Thursdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Welcome back, everyone. New data shows the housing market is the strongest it's been in years. Our Alex Schley spoke with a local realtor who says they expect sales to keep on climbing as we head into the spring.
According to Maine realtor Renee Hutchins, the number of homes sold nearly doubled from January to February, making it one of the best months for Maine housing sales in the past 25 years.
Last month to this month, it is an increase of 7.4%. That means half sold above and half sold below.
That growth can be seen in the housing market here in Penobscot County. According to Zillow.com, the sale of 4 properties were finalized in Bangor and Brewer on Monday, including this house here on West Broadway, where less than 24 hours after signing the paperwork, the new owners were moving in. Hudgens says a variety of factors are driving the market.
Getting calls from out-of-staters, wanting to get out of some other regions of the world, whether it be hot or busy or political climates or whatever, they're wanting to move. And their jobs, there's job changes all over. You know, still first-time buyers are our biggest market, but here we have a lot of retirees. Ranch-style homes are very popular. Condos are very popular.
Hudgens says she expects the market to continue heating up as the weather warms.
The word on the street is March Madness is the time to put your houses on. People are home, they're watching the shows, they are looking on the internet, shopping for houses now. So they start their process at home on their computer, then they're out on foot right away. So once the snow's gone, there's going to be more action.
And despite fluctuating interest rates, Hudgens says buyers are still active.
We're anticipating that. Rates are still, slightly down, but we're not seeing that as a condition of sale. We're seeing people still needing homes.
Hudgens says Maine's housing market continues to stand out nationwide.
Maine had the highest appreciations of homes in the country for the last 5 years.
In Bangor, I'm Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, over the past weekend, people on Maine Maritime Academy's campus got a bird's eye view of what the future might hold for them. Our Doug Banks takes us up to Castine and also up in a Black Hawk helicopter.
Above lush trees, rigid mountain ranges, and the Deer Isle Bridge, you'll find the ambitions of those on Maine Maritime Academy's campus.
From up there, it's awesome.
Taking part in a weekend-long event meant to challenge the endurance of one's mind, body, and spirit.
People can see the changes that you make around them.
Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps units from Maine and New Hampshire spent 3 days on MMA's Castine campus for the 2025 Leadership Challenge Weekend. Organized by MMA, the Academy's Regiment of Shipmen, and Maine National Guard, the event featured challenges and activities that encouraged teamwork, self-reflection, and to find out where participants' interests may lie within the armed forces.
Today is great for them to interact with each other, find out more about different service opportunities, and some competitive challenges as well.
Above the Castine campus Saturday morning, a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter that, upon landing at Fort George, blew away both the JROTCs on the ground and the MMA students on board.
It was honestly amazing. It was the fastest route I ever had from Bangor back to Castine.
The whole experience of seeing that huge thing land down, it was awesome. I got a video of it and I can't wait to show my mom because she's gonna think it's so cool.
As JROTCs eagerly walked across Fort George to the Black Hawk helicopter, one MMA student saw himself in who he once was.
When I was young, my sisters actually enlisted with the Army active duty, and it reminded me how much I looked up to her.
Saturday's event was just one of many to take place on MMA's campus, and those who took part in this year's Leadership Challenge weekend say what they're taking with them from this whole experience isn't just seeing a Black Hawk helicopter in person, but also the personal growth that comes when faced with different and difficult circumstances.
The experience, the people I've met, the different backgrounds, the people I've worked with, I might not see any of these people ever again, but I know I'll carry this experience and those people's philosophies and the things that they've taught me with me 1000%.
In Castine, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
What a neat event. Well, in other news this morning, despite the seeming resurgence of winter, spring is technically upon us. And as we venture outdoors, Maine tick experts are reminding the public that this is one of the times of year when we really could see a spike in tick activity. They say that even though we did see prolonged cold temperatures this winter, the widespread robust layer of snow that was present for much of the winter may have helped the disease-carrying deer ticks survive. And while there is no one perfect solution to minimize tick encounters, there are a number of things you can do around your home to help.
Landscaping in a way that's going to minimize habitat. Ticks, the deer tick in particular, dries out quite easily. So areas that get a lot of sunlight, have relatively little to low vegetation, leaf litters cleaned up, those types of areas tend not to see a lot of tick activity.
Now, Dill also always stresses using personal protection measures like keeping skin covered with long sleeves and long pants, using repellents, and even using paramethrin to treat clothing, as well as thorough tick checks. They're all good ways to help protect yourself. You may want to avoid jumping into those big piles of leaves as you clean up your yard this spring as well. All right, when we come back, a full look at that forecast. Don't go away.
It's Ram Truck Month at Quirk in Bangor. Save $11,000 on the powerful Ram 1500 Tradesman. Strength, style, and serious savings. It's your Ram. Find it at Quirk in Bangor and Belfast.
TurboTax Free Edition. 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition.
When Maine Paving wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Maine Paving provides outstanding paving and seal coating services to eastern and central Maine. Currently booking for the 2025 season. Call today for a free estimate.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Equinox, starting under $30,000. And the all-electric Equinox EV, America's most affordable EV with a 315-plus mile range. Quality you expect and a dealer right down the street. With Chevy, you get what you want. Current qualified lessees can get this 2025 Equinox for around $299 a month. Or well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% APR when you finance with GM Financial.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Don't miss the Quirk Subaru A Lot to Love event. Love all the trusted 2025 Subaru Crosstrek has to offer. Buy with 3.9% financing or lease for just $315 per month. It's your Subaru. Find it at Quirk.
And here's Devin Biggs with that 5-day forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Wave heights at around 3 to 4 feet this morning, according to the buoys, and a little bit higher further off towards the north and east. Despite that, small craft advisories, at least at the moment, have been allowed to expire. 10-foot wave heights being noted farther out towards sea. Some areas of dense fog this morning, reducing visibility in Bangor, near the Calais area too in Washington County, and just off toward the north, we might see this overspread a little bit more before things begin to improve later on. Meanwhile, we had a little bit of a wintry mix. There it is right there, tracking off towards the north and east overnight. For now, we're looking pretty good. Some clouds passing through. We will be watching for another system. There it is right there that will be tracking off towards the north and east. And now will give us some more scattered rain and snow showers coming up for today. We'll see those developing during the afternoon period and some snow sticking around coming up later on tonight. It might accumulate a little bit. It won't be a big deal. It will be out of here as we head towards Thursday morning. Maybe a few flurries left over. Sprinkles and flurries possible by the afternoon period. Clearing out for a bit Thursday night and a Friday morning. Notice by early Friday morning, a few more snow showers to watch out for. So again, snow totals not too ridiculous. Some spots won't see anything. Others, maybe a ½ inch to an inch or less before we're all finished up there. And then another system starts to approach. We have another wave of energy. There it is right there. That's the Friday system that will be passing through. And once we get that through, a bigger system to watch out for, looking like some snow opportunities as we head towards the weekend. We will keep an eye on that. For now, our average high temperature is 44 degrees. We'll be about hitting there today in the middle 40s today, tomorrow, and a Friday, and then we're back in the 30s Saturday and a Sunday, 40s again Monday, and then upper 30s as we head towards your Tuesday. So for today, mid 40s about average for this time of the year. Scattered rain and snow showers. Southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, low 30s, mostly cloudy, some snow showers on the way. West breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid 40s again, so again about average, partly cloudy, sprinkles and flurries. Northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some higher gusts cannot be ruled out. And let's check out your extended forecast. So some snow showers again for your Friday with highs in the mid 40s. More snow showers again Saturday with highs cooling into the mid 30s. Mid 30s again Sunday, a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow.
Fires, floods, burst pipes. Disasters happen, but the mess they leave behind doesn't have to last. For 40 years, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration has been there to help Mainers get back to the closest to normal as they can. When your property is at its worst, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is at their best, and they have been for 4 decades. Put your trust in the Bouchard team. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
You live in vacation land, right? Then get out and vacation, why don't you? And do it in style by renting an RV from Maine Campo Rentals. Fully furnished, fully insured, ready to roll out and explore. Or maybe you have relatives visiting you. Save your marriage, save the hotel expense, put them up in an affordable RV from Maine Campo Rentals. We'll deliver to Acadia and local campgrounds too. Call or visit online at MaineCampoRentals.com. Put away that cell phone and discover vacation land with Maine Campo Rentals in Brewer.
Bring your new kitchen to life with help from the Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring Division by Hammond Lumber Company. Bring in your ideas or get inspired by Hammond's extensive showroom displays. Your Hammond sales rep will help you create a materials list and cost estimate, and Hammond's designers will help you visualize your space before the work begins. And Hammond delivers from 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Your new kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Andy, are you giving it to her?
No, I'm
okay,
thinking.
You're looking. Okay.
Meredith, please. Now I have to start again.
25 words or less.
What am I? Chopped
liver?
With the game on the line.
Where's everybody going now?
Thinking outside the box really pays off.
We want another
$10,000!
Okay, baby!
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
President Donald Trump is defending his top national security officials after the explosive lapse in national security when officials were reportedly discussing classified U.S. war plans in Yemen over an unauthorized messaging app and with a journalist accidentally added to the chat. The administration is ramping up its attacks against the reporter as some members of Congress call for an investigation. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
This morning, questions are mounting over how a journalist with The Atlantic was added to a group chat with top national security officials ahead of the U.S. attack in Yemen, and why discussions about that chat were happening on the unauthorized messaging app Signal. The Atlantic's editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg says National Security Advisor Mike Waltz invited him to the group chat. President Trump standing by Waltz's side.
He's a very good man, and he will continue to do a good job.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denies his role in the chat put American troops at risk.
Nobody's texting more plans. I know exactly what I'm doing.
The administration instead has repeatedly attacked Goldberg and The Atlantic, claiming it did not share classified information. Goldberg says he withheld publishing certain messages reportedly from Hegseth, sharing operational details, including precise information about weapons, targets, and timing.
Just because they're irresponsible with material doesn't mean that I'm going to be irresponsible
with this material.
Democrats in Congress hammering the administration.
Where our pilots are going to be and when they're going to be there ahead of the operation. If they think that information isn't classified, then they are way crazy incompetent to do the job that they're supposed to be doing.
This sloppiness, this incompetence, this disrespect for our intelligence agencies and the personnel who work for them is entirely unacceptable. It's an embarrassment.
Several Republicans are also calling for more information.
I just want the administration and the individuals involved to be accountable and take blame or responsibility for the mistakes they made.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Ratcliffe were both on the group chat and are expected to be back on Capitol Hill today for a hearing with House members. They met with senators yesterday. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, as we told you at the top of the hour, a big announcement this morning from Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows announcing that she plans to run as a Democratic candidate for governor in the 2026 race. And she did it in her hometown of Hancock this morning.
Yes, our Grace Blanchard is currently live at the Hancock County Community Center with Secretary of State Shenna Bellows and has more.
Good morning, Craig and Emma. Yes, as you said, we're here outside the Hancock Community Center, and I'm joined with Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, who, as you said, has just made a big announcement here in her hometown that she has launched her campaign for governor of Maine. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling? How has the energy been like this morning?
It was wonderful to launch my campaign here in Hancock, where I grew up. It was wonderful to see my kindergarten teacher, my high school English teacher, and people that I've known and loved my whole life who taught me the main values that I bring to this work.
And obviously you are not new to the world of Maine politics, serving as a state senator and then taking over as the first woman to serve as Maine Secretary of State. How did you come to this decision, though?
We're in a very dangerous moment for our democracy, and working families are really struggling in this economy. I felt called to step up, to fight for working families, to protect our kids, our seniors, our veterans, and to serve the people of Maine.
And you've also held positions such as ACLU Executive Director. You know, how have your various roles maybe prepared you for a potential position like this?
I've served my entire life defending, upholding the Constitution, fighting for the freedoms and liberties of everyone without exception. And that's what I'll do as governor, is fight for the people of Maine.
And speaking of Maine, there's been a national spotlight on Maine recently, and we're seeing high political tensions right now. If you were to be elected governor, how would you bring the state of Maine together?
So I grew up in a town that is very conservative. My friends and neighbors were Republicans, Independents, Democrats, and as state senator, I won a district that voted for Donald Trump and voted for me in 2016. So I'll bring that lifelong practice of listening to everyone and all sides to this work.
And obviously, you know, we're a little far away from the actual election, but why is it important that people start thinking about taking action and getting out to vote when the time comes?
Democracy is so incredibly important, and traditionally Maine has been at the top of the nation in turning out to vote and getting involved. And so now is the time. We must meet this moment and move forward.
Secretary of State Shenna Bellows, thank you so much. Craig and Emma, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much, Grace, reporting that live there in Hancock. It was kind of touching this morning to see her make that announcement and meeting with some people that she's known throughout her lives, and she did it in the same building where she went to prom.
I know.
Way back when.
She said it was her 8th grade prom.
Kind of neat. So
yep.
we'll be hearing more from her over the months ahead. We look forward to hearing from all the candidates, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, brown, blue, green, purple, whatever.
Right.
We'd love to hear from them as we head towards that election coming up in 2026.
Right, absolutely. And of course, Secretary of State Shenna Bellows will be heading to Augusta after this to do further talks there as well. So as the day goes on, we'll hear more about what she has planned for her campaign. Yeah. All right, moving on now. We're right in the middle of national news. In separate agreements brokered by the United States in Saudi Arabia yesterday, Russia and Ukraine green-lighting a plan to pause the fighting in the Black Sea, the critical defensive body of water on which both countries also rely on for exports. It's the first significant full step towards a full ceasefire amid President Donald Trump's pledge to swiftly end the war. The deal includes a ban on targeting energy infrastructure for 30 days, a promise Russia says it will only trust with Washington's backing. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says he believes the peace plan goes into effect immediately, although he expressed doubt that Moscow will hold up its end of the bargain. The U.S. and Ukraine agreed to continue to work towards the exchange of prisoners of war, the release of civilian detainees, and the return of forcibly transferred Ukrainian children. The Trump administration has also agreed to help Russia increase its global exports of grain and fertilizer. All right, and coming up right after the break, we'll have all the latest news from showbiz.
Don't go away.
All across our state, American-made clean energy has created over 2,400 good-paying jobs while lowering energy costs for Mainers. Farmers across the state are earning millions in income through long-term land leases from clean energy projects. Homegrown power from wind and solar are driving American energy dominance and powering our future. Maine wins with clean energy. Call Senator Collins and thank her for supporting an all-of-the-above energy strategy that creates jobs in our state.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, folks. Today is Wednesday, March 26th, 2025. It's also Epilepsy Awareness and Purple Day.
This day was created to raise the public's understanding of this brain disorder and to eliminate fear and stigma surrounding it. With over 3.5 million Americans diagnosed with epilepsy, it's likely you know someone living with the day-to-day challenges that epilepsy brings. The good news is that it can be managed if diagnosed and treated correctly. That's why research and awareness are so important. And I'd say it's also pretty important to know the signs of a seizure and what to do if you know or if someone around you experiences a seizure, because there's certain things you can do that will help keep them safe and help them to have better health outcomes after their seizure.
That's what this day is all about, to raise awareness and maybe look up some of those things.
Totally.
Also why some people will be wearing Purple Day to raise awareness.
Yeah.
All right, time for history now. Moving on, in 1872, inventor Thomas Martin received a patent for the fire extinguisher. Imagine all the property and lives he saved because of that. 1917, the Seattle Metropolitans became the very first American hockey team to win the Stanley Cup. They beat the Montreal Canadiens. In 1945, the Battle of Iwo Jima was won by the U.S. after a month and a week of fighting. Approximately 22,000 Japanese soldiers were killed following 36 days of fighting. More than 7,000 Americans were also killed in one of the bloodiest battles of World War II. And in 1953, Dr. Jonas Salk announced that he had successfully tested a vaccine against the virus that causes polio.
In 1979, Israel and Egypt signed a peace treaty at the White House, ending 30 years of hostilities. In 1982, groundbreaking ceremonies were held in Washington for the Vietnam War Memorial. In 1997, 39 members of the Heaven's Gate religious cult were found dead in a home in California following a mass suicide. And in 2012, filmmaker James Cameron dove into the deepest part of the Marianas Trench, called the Challenger Deep. Challenger Deep is more than 36,000 feet deep, and it took 2 hours and 36 minutes to reach the bottom.
Just incredible. One of only 2 people who have managed to reach that feat. And just to give you an idea of how deep that is, the Titanic is down about 12,500 feet.
Crazy.
So there's more than double that. Imagine the pressure down there.
Oh, no thank you.
All right. Today's birthdays include singing superstar Diana Ross, who is 81 years old. Actor Martin Short is 75. And former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is 85 years old today. And happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you, too. If it is your birthday, hopefully you have a great day.
All right, now let's turn it over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. Low temperatures so far this morning haven't been too bad. Made it to the mid-20s so far in Bangor, upper 20s in Bar Harbor. Other spots in the upper 20s to even some lower 30s. Some areas of dense fog greeting us this morning from Bangor to further off towards the north and east. Even parts of Washington County seeing some reduced visibility at this time. Otherwise, most of us not looking too bad, at least just yet. We had a little bit of precipitation passing through last night, at least on the radar. It looks like a little bit of a wintry mix, but otherwise we're dry to start this morning, but we will be watching for a little bit more precipitation on the way with this system that's off to the south and west and it's tracking to the north and east. And that will give us an opportunity for a few more scattered rain and snow showers on the way for us today. Later on tonight, a little bit more snow will be passing through, and some of that may linger in the parts of Thursday morning. So for today, mid-40s, scattered rain and snow showers, southwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, low 30s, mostly cloudy, some snow showers to watch out for, and that west wind at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid-40s, partly cloudy, some sprinkles and flurries, northwest wind at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some higher gusts cannot be ruled out. Hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon periods showing increasing clouds, scattered rain and snow showers possible with temperatures in the 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Now for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Alex Stone.
Dare you? Go ahead. You do it. I'll do it. Yeah, right. I will.
The reboot of Malcolm in the Middle is adding some familiar faces. Christopher Masterson has announced he is returning as Francis, while Justin Burfield will reprise his role as Reese in the upcoming Disney Plus series. Meantime, Caleb Ellsworth-Clark is set to take over the fan-favorite role of Dewey, originally played by Eric Purse Sullivan. Disney is a parent company of ABC News.
And I'll be there for you as your man, as your friend, as your partner.
Oh my God. Speaking of ABC, another season of The Bachelor is in the books. This season's Bachelor, a day trader and former pro basketball player named Grant Ellis, proposed to Juliana Pascarosa in the show's season 29 finale. Adam Driver is returning to TV. The two-time Academy Award nominee is set to star in The Dealer on Apple TV Plus alongside Jessica Chastain, which promises to take viewers inside the high-end art market. It'll be Driver's first season since the end of Girls on HBO. And legendary singer Diana Ross, known as a queen of Motown Records and the lead singer of the Supremes, turns 81 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News in Los Angeles.
And when we come back, Emma Smith will have a very special interview with somebody telling us about an entrepreneurial workshop. That and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
If you've been injured in an accident, get Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm working for you today. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, fighting and winning for injured Mainers for over 50 years. Selected best lawyers in America for personal injury. Recognized for professional excellence, with more than $750 million collected for injured Mainers and over 25,000 victories for Maine families. Call Joe for a free case evaluation. Accidents happen to be our specialty.
Or get this low-mileage lease on this 2025 Cadillac XT5 Luxury for around $499 per month.
Visit Court Cadillac in Bangor.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view. And start your Sundays with a meal to remember and our all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch. Every Sunday morning from 9 to 11:30 with award-winning dishes and discounts for seniors and veterans. Call to make your reservation. Whether it's a family gathering or a special celebration, our Sunday brunch is the perfect way to savor the weekend. Only at the Lucerne Inn. Beautiful dining with a delicious view.
Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln, is your #1 trusted caregiver storefront. From personalized consultations to the highest quality product, Blazing Trails provides outstanding patient services to Eastern and Central Maine. Discover how we're blazing the trails to quality holistic medicine.
Baseball night in America is back.
Wow, look at this!
Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Go on.
I think I got away with something I shouldn't have. The temptation, it was too much.
What did you do?
Well, I got a brand new Hyundai Ioniq 5 for only
Holy Santa Fe.
Enjoy the new car.
Yes, thank you.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Lease a Hyundai Santa Fe SE for $279 a month, or get 2.99% APR, or up to $3,500 bonus cash on select trims. Hurry in.
Get moving this spring with comfortable, functional footwear from Comfort Shoes and More. From tailored fittings to shoe modifications and custom orthotics, their team of experts are trained in podorthics and will help you find the perfect fit. From running to walking, casual or dress, you'll find today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Ariat, Merrill, and more. Don't let your feet hold you back from doing the things you love. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
It's Carnival night!
Fox tonight, 5 brand new Masked Singers make the guesses go wild.
Blake Shelton.
Look, Brian.
This is the season we finally get Shaq.
I don't think you guys have a clue who it is.
All new Masked Singer. Then,
for the first time since week 1, someone other than Brian will be in the lead.
Don't miss the biggest duel of the season.
Hell's Kitchen.
The Masked Singer.
Bachelor.
The floor's all new after The Masked Singer. Tonight on Fox.
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great phone and the right phone plan for you. You can get 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
That's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
Because you get both.
US Cellular, built for
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm here with Allie Lane. She's with the Small Business Development Center. It's a statewide organization, and she's here today to talk about some cool entrepreneurial workshops being offered by the Union River Center for Innovation. This is going to be offered in Ellsworth. Allie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit, first of all, about the Union River Center for Innovation. That's who's hosting these workshops.
Yes.
Who are they?
Sure, yeah. So the Union River Center for Innovation is a 10-year-old organization located just outside of downtown Ellsworth. Yep. They were born to help serve entrepreneurs in the Ellsworth and Greater Hancock region with starting businesses, running their small businesses, connecting with the right mentors and resources, and just learning the ins and outs of small business ownership in Ellsworth area.
Wow, I think it's really indicative of the growth that Ellsworth has seen in the past few years, because they're ready to just keep growing too.
Oh yes, yes.
And that's what this is kind of highlighting. So also talk about the group that you're with, the Small Business Development Center.
Sure, yeah. So the Maine SBDC is a statewide organization. We offer no-cost, confidential general business advising to people who are both starting their businesses and also running or exiting their small businesses. I work in Greater Bangor, Ellsworth, and Belfast, but I have colleagues statewide. And we spend 80% of our time one-on-one with entrepreneurs and wannabe entrepreneurs, helping them understand the ins and outs and really getting down and dirty with them to know what it takes to run a small business.
Wow, yeah, I'm sure that is exactly what folks need and want when they're starting that process. So tell me, when is this workshop and who is it for?
Sure, yeah. So the Entrepreneurial Exploration Workshop Series at the Union River Center for Innovation, it starts on April 9th and it runs for 4 weeks in April. It'll be in person, so meant to serve the folks in that region who are looking to get an introduction to starting a small business in the area. It will be particularly helpful for those in Greater Ellsworth because they are going to be introduced to the City of Ellsworth's new Starting a Business guide that they just came out with.
Oh, cool.
And it's meant to kind of get people comfortable with the terminology so that when they do sit down with a mentor or a bank or an accountant and they start hearing terminology like P&L statement and business plan, they don't, what even is that?
It's not just too discouraging to continue.
Right, right. Because it is intimidating and you don't really know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So this series is meant to kind of give an introduction and also get folks connected with resources like myself and other mentors and advisors around the state.
Yeah, that's huge. And I think it's really cool too that it's just being encouraged for folks to start businesses. Where did this encouragement come from? Is this like state funding that lets all this stuff happen?
Yes, I think it's definitely, Maine in particular, we are I think 95% of the businesses in Maine are technically small businesses.
Right.
And there have always been a ton of resources available, but people don't necessarily know. We're out there doing the work and sort of being the boots on the ground to do advising and all of that. But it's hard to let everyone know, you're dedicating your time to helping folks, not promoting yourself.
Right.
So organizations like the Union River Center for Innovation really push the resources because they've always been there.
Yeah.
But now it's just time to connect them to the entrepreneurs so that the Maine economy can really benefit from more folks. The talent in the small business world needs to come out.
Right, it's symbiotic. And we are running out of time, but just real quick, what types of things are the workshops going to be offering?
Sure, yeah. So they start with sort of an introduction to a startup checklist. What are the steps I need to take?
Yep.
The second workshop really digs into feasibility of the idea and you as an individual entrepreneur if you have what it takes.
Yeah.
I ran a small business for a couple of years and you learn more about yourself than you ever think you need to know. So we're going to hope to flesh some of that out.
Yeah, the reality of the situation.
Oh, yes, yeah. The third workshop is mine about business plans because, what is a business plan? Do you need it? Those questions come up all the time.
Right.
And then by the fourth week, at the end of April, Kitty Barbie's going to dig into financials, hoping people are warmed up and ready to talk about numbers, which is really uncomfortable for many entrepreneurs.
Yeah, totally. And that's why it's the fourth session.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well, that sounds like everything you need to know. Allie, where should folks go if they want to sign up and learn more?
Sure, yeah. So, by the way, everything I'm talking about is free. They do need to register for these workshops on unionriverinnovation.com.
Yep.
And if they want to sign up for SBDC advising with myself or a colleague, mainesbdc.org.
Cool. Well, Allie, thank you so much for sharing these resources with us.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll send it over to Devin Biggs. Or wait, are we all done? Do we have weather? We do? I hear him in there saying we have weather. We got weather. Here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Wave heights at around 3 to 4 feet this morning, according to the buoys, and a little bit higher further off towards the north and east. Despite that, small craft advisories, at least at the moment, have been allowed to expire. 10-foot wave heights being noted farther out towards sea. Some areas of dense fog this morning, reducing visibility in Bangor, near the Calais area too in Washington County, and just off toward the north, we might see this overspread a little bit more before things begin to improve later on. Meanwhile, we had a little bit of a wintry mix. There it is right there, tracking off towards the north and east overnight. For now, we're looking pretty good. Some clouds passing through. We will be watching for another system. There it is right there. That will be tracking off towards the north and east. And now will give us some more scattered rain and snow showers coming up for today. We'll see those developing during the afternoon period and some snow sticking around coming up later on tonight. It might accumulate a little bit. It won't be a big deal. It will be out of here as we head towards Thursday morning. Maybe a few flurries left over. Sprinkles and flurries possible by the afternoon period. Clearing out for a bit Thursday night and Friday morning. Notice by early Friday morning, a few more snow showers to watch out for. So again, snow totals not too ridiculous. Some spots won't see anything. Others, maybe a ½ inch to an inch or less before we're all finished up there. And then another system starts to approach. We have another wave of energy. There it is right there. That's the Friday system that will be passing through. And once we get that through, a a bigger system to watch out for, looking like some snow opportunities as we head towards the weekend. We will keep an eye on that. For now, our average high temperature is 44 degrees. We'll be about hitting there today in the middle 40s today, tomorrow, and a Friday, and then we're back in the 30s Saturday and a Sunday, 40s again Monday, and then upper 30s as we head towards your Tuesday. So for today, mid 40s about average for this time of the year. Scattered rain and snow showers. Southwest breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, low 30s, mostly cloudy, some snow showers on the way. West breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, mid 40s again, so again about average, partly cloudy, sprinkles and flurries. Northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Some higher gusts cannot be ruled out. And let's check out your extended forecast. So some snow showers again for your Friday with highs in the mid 40s. More snow showers again Saturday with highs cooling into the mid 30s. Mid 30s again Sunday, a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow.
Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. We pride ourselves on our honesty and integrity. We'll always give you the best garage door repairs at a real price. Had your doors installed by another company? That's okay. Our experienced team is available to service all brands and models. Visit us at pdqdoor.com.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Love it.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
You could get 4.99% for 60 on a stylish all-wheel drive Camry Hybrid. Toyota, let's go places.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert, doing everything while you do your thing. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax.
Ye Olde General, located in Carmel, has everything you could ever need. Whether it be kerosene, regular or ethanol-free gasoline, wood pellets, a fresh cooked pizza, or fried food, they've got you covered. Looking to get a stiff drink after work? Ye Olde General is an agency liquor store with a great selection of alcohol. Ye Olde General can help with your next home project, carrying carpentry supplies from hammers and nails to specialty nuts and bolts. They have what you need to get the job done. Stop by Ye Olde General today. If you don't think they'll have it, they probably do.
Poor insulation is the origin of your heating and cooling complications. We are Dr. Energy Saver by TC Hafford Basement Systems. We are the local energy saving experts. We identify the problem areas and provide customized solutions that leave your home comfortable and your energy bills affordable. Whether it's a drafty attic or poorly sealed ductwork, we have your back and more. Financing is available. For a no-cost, no-obligation estimate, call Dr. Energy Saver by TC Hafford Basement Systems. We fix uncomfortable homes.
Hi, I'm Dave from PDQ Door. For a brighter, quieter, smarter garage door, call PDQ Door. You can count on LiftMaster openers, and for the best prices and best service, you can count on PDQ Door. Visit us online at pdqdoor.com, where we sell the best and service the rest.
A Maine resident is worming her way into a brand new career.
Melody Kennedy is a worm farmer. She says using worm waste as a fertilizer not only helps your garden grow, but it can also be used to reduce the number of ticks, earwigs, and other insects in your yard. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Oh, they know how to hide. Melody Kennedy of Topsom is a working worm farmer. She decided to get into the business when she found herself unemployed. And what she's learned about worms and using their waste as fertilizer has truly opened her eyes to all the benefits these critters provide to our gardens and yards.
You can use it for indoor plants, outdoor plants, lawns, trees, bushes, shrubs. It doesn't matter.
Kennedy has thousands of worms at her Longview Estate worm farm. She brought a few to the United Farmers Market in Belfast in a compost bin to show customers. But she herself is the one who does the dirty work.
What I do is once they're done a bin, I get the castings, aka the manure, out of the bin, separate the worms and stuff, take the castings and I put them in water. I get all the nutrients out of them. I get the microorganisms to multiply by the billions. And that's why I make it live and fresh, so you get that into your soil.
Kennedy says her liquid fertilizer not only helps plants grow, it also can be a great resource for pest control.
So I sprayed my yard last March and did not see a tick until November.
Reducing ticks around the yard was the very reason Searsport resident Sophie Engstrom stopped by Kennedy's booth at the farmers market.
We have a dog and the dog coming in and out, and of course spraying anything chemical is not on my list of things to do. So I just was like instantly interested, and I want to give it a try.
Kennedy says her product has a shelf life of 30 days, but customers can still benefit from its use no matter how old it is.
It repairs your soil, it aerates it, and puts life in it. This just all makes sense to me.
In Belfast, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And Melody Kennedy plans to return to the United Farmers Market in Belfast on April 12th. So another chance for you to get some of that good stuff.
It's a great farmer's market. Love that farmer's market. Yeah. Okay, finally now, a local Bangor therapy dog is a contender in a national competition for pet partners. Coda, a 14-year-old rescue, has been a registered Pet Partners therapy animal since 2015. His owner and handler, Stacy Coventry, has also been an advocate for therapy dog services. And together, they volunteered in schools, colleges, hospitals, and numerous grief support groups where they give comfort to those in need. Coda now has the opportunity to win Pet of the Year through the Pet Partners organization. The competition is based on votes and fundraising, where the therapy animal with the most collective money wins. Voting is currently open and closes on April 14th. Head to foxbangor.com to learn more.
That's it for now, folks. We hope you have a wonderful day.
Today on 25 Words or Less, we've come up with a cute little routine. When we pass each other in the hallway, I say, "What up, Carsey K?" And he berates me for making eye contact. It's Carson Kressley.
That didn't happen.
And joining Carson are brunch buddies Chris and Uche. He's redefining the term triple threat by being a fairly mediocre host, musician, and actor. It's Head Crack! And joining him are our returning champions, girlfriend and boyfriend, Suzanne and Jordan. And now here's your host, Meredith Vieira.
Welcome to 25 Words or Less. Carson, I say it to you every time I see you. You dress so beautifully.
Well,
you have
thank
such a
you.
strong sense of fashion. Where does your inspiration come from?
Usually Chardonnay, Meredith. Well, we'll see. But if it's not that, I like to actually go out and shop. Like, I shop every day. I go to a store, and I don't usually buy anything, which is very irritating to the sales staff. But I like to see what's happening out in the market. It's like doing research.